go, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I also wanted to let you know that not only do I create content here on Class in the Glass, but I also stream content on my Twitch channel, Mr. Revan7. I play single-player games, multiplayer games, and I also do movie reviews and cartoon reviews as well. I also want to encourage you to check out my Patreon, Class in the Glass, where I offer audio commentaries, full reactions for movies, and also the ability to submit questions for my video casts and podcasts. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and enjoy the video.
Century Fox presents the most extraordinary motion picture of all time, Star Wars.
Here's where the fun begins.
No legendary adventure of the past could be as exciting as this romance of the future.
Here they come.
May the Force be with you in Star Wars.
But with this, guys, I think we shall get into our review for the Star Wars movie. Let's go ahead and do it, my friends. Now, I think I know this answer, but I'm obligated to ask. I am obligated to ask every time I start one of these, but how many of you have seen Star Wars Episode 4, chat, A New Hope? It was, how it was initially released, chat, in 77, just Star Wars. Didn't have the subtitle of A New Hope. You know, no one knew anything about no goddamn hope. In this movie, it was just Star Wars the entire time. How many of you have seen this film? I mean, yep, everyone's seen it. Daniel's seen it, Solomon's seen it, Law has seen it. Yeah, I mean, I did see these in the theater, chap. It was actually before the special edition releases. A local theater was premiering them, was like drumming up hype for the inevitable release of the special edition, so they were showing the older versions of the film. And yeah, basically it was a local theater, and I saw like these over the course of 3 days. Honestly, it changed. I hate to say this is gonna sound corny, chat, but it did change my life. I was like, for so many other people who were first exposed to these films, you know, it's like during this time I was absorbing like a sponge all sorts of geeky properties. Like my first exposure to Batman was Batman meets Spears, so I was obsessed with that. And then I was introduced to Star Wars via this first film, chat, Star Wars A New Hope. And it blew my little mind, and to this day I'm a Star Wars fan. Yes, there's been some ups and there's been some downs, but it's been an incredible experience to see this, especially this singular trilogy, chat, over and over and over and over and over again. But even though there's been many reiterations of it, I still enjoy it nonetheless. And I'll talk about some of the stuff of the special editions I enjoy and some of the stuff that I hate. Obviously, McClunky, the most iconic line ever, fantastic edition, most recent edition, chat. But yeah, pretty much like everyone else, I saw these films at a very early age and absolutely loved them. I fell in love with characters like Luke and Han Solo and Chewbacca, chat, and Leia Organa, C-3PO, and R2-D2. Goddamn, Boba Fett, chat. Oh my god, he literally does nothing, and he's so cool. He looks so cool doing nothing. You got Darth Vader, chat. You got Grand Moff Tarkin. Can't underestimate Grand Moff Tarkin, chat. Peter Cushing, excellent. Ian McDiarmid as Emperor Palpatine. Not in this movie. Not in The Empire Strikes Back, but eventually he'll be in Return of the Jedi. Oh, so many cool things, chat. Opened up a whole new world for me. But kind of give you a little background on the film, which most of you already know. Again, changed the face of cinema as we know it in 77, along with Jaws. Was a huge critical success. After like this film was like it was like George Lucas had to endure the skepticism of critics and the studios while making this film. Was diagnosed of hypertension while making the movie, chat. I mean, he thought he would ruin... He was already an Oscar-nominated director thanks to American Graffiti. So he was already like a little critical darling, and everyone doubted him with this sci-fi fantasy film, chat. And he proved them all fucking wrong, and it's incredible. Like, you think about it, this film had a budget of $11 million, and it looks so goddamn good. $11 million, and it had a box office at the time, chat. Again, it was the highest grossing film at the time. Of $775.5 million. And studios went, we gotta make more Star Wars movies. And you started to see all these other films and franchises that were inspired by Star Wars. I mean, perfect example, one of my favorite movies of all time, Alien. Alien wouldn't have happened without Star Wars, chat. Fox was adamant about getting more sci-fi fantasy pictures in there, and you could tell, like, the huge influence that Star Wars had on something like Alien, where everything just felt lived and all the technology, the people felt real. It just proliferated this. It just created this groundswell of support for sci-fi and fantasy films. And to this day, Chad, we still feel it. Like nearly 50 years later, 40 plus years later, 43. It's remarkable, simply remarkable, Chad. But now we must get into the nitty-gritty details, my friend. We are opening with much fanfare, Chad. It is a galaxy of a long time ago and a galaxy far, far away. It's like, where's all the credits? It's like, again, another thing that Star Wars did. Fuck the director. Fuck the credits and who's in this movie. It's about a galaxy filled with all sorts of amazing things. Nia Brownie, thank you for the 6 biddies. After this review, I shall do a movie poll. Thank you, Nia Brownie, for your support. And welcome to the stream. Osnick, thank you for the host. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well tonight. But chat, it is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And then Star Wars, big old, they're coming at you. Oh, God. People didn't know what to expect, chat. And they got scared by the title crawl. And you see, there's a time of darkness, chat. The Empire rules the galaxy with an iron fist. But thankfully, chat, the Rebel Alliance has secured its first victory, its first major victory against the evil Galactic Empire, chat, which we actually saw years later, chat, in the year 2016, Star Wars Rogue One. We know this story now. We have context for this title crawl for the first time. It's kind of cool when you think about it in hindsight. And during this definitive win against the Empire, chat, the Rebel Alliance has acquired the details for a massive battle station called the Death Star. Death Star, you hear the Death Star, that doesn't sound good. What does the Death Star do? Well, let me tell you. The Death Star shoots a super-powered laser that has the capabilities of destroying an entire planet, chat. It's like, fuck, you better get those plans to the Rebel Alliance. What's going to happen? Oh, a lot of bad stuff, because the evil Darth Vader, chat, the Dark Lord of the Sith, we don't know he's a Dark Lord of the Sith yet. We just know he's Darth Vader, and he looks really cool. And he's currently pursuing Princess Leia Organa of Alderaan, chat, and her ship, the Tantive 4, chat. It's a Corellian blockade runner. I always love the design for this ship. Always thought it was very, very cool. Love seeing it in media. Man, it showed up in all sorts of films in the franchise. The Rebel plans, the Death Star plans are on the ship, and she's trying to get back to Alderaan to give them to her father, Bail Organa, so they can then expose this stuff to to prove the existence of the Death Star to the Imperial Senate, and then later destroy the station, chat. There's a lot going on here, and as soon as we see the opening, it's like title call, again, just very epic, very reminiscent of like 1930s and 40s serials. Like, oh, that's cool, that's what George Lucas wanted to do. He wanted to do like a 30s, 40s serial, chat. That's what he was inspired by, stuff like Flash Gordon. That's initially what he wanted to make. After the title crawl disappears into space, chat, we lower ourselves on the upper atmosphere of a planet, chat, and we see some moons and planets in the background. And then we see this huge ship pass by and it's firing at something behind it. It's like, whoa, that ship is so big. And then we see this giant, this monolith of a ship, chat, just over it. It's an amazing shot. This is some incredible... The movie is... People don't talk about it enough, but Star Wars, especially this one, has such incredible cinematography. It really just captures just the sheer size of these vessels in space, chat. And so you see the little Tantive 4, it's just going out into the distance, and you see this massive ship, chat. It's called a Star Destroyer, firing overhead. It's like, whoa. I mean, just, you're blown away at this point. Now we cut inside the Tantive 4 after it's rocked by a massive explosion. And we're introduced to the first 2 characters of the movie, chat. C-3PO, he is a protocol droid, speaks 6 million forms of communication, chat. Master linguist, and his little astromech counterpart, chat, RTD2. And C-3PO is just like, we're fucked. The princess, there's no way she's gonna escape. We're gonna get blasted. You know, R2, we're goddamn lucky. We'd be lucky if we're sent to the space mines of Kessel, okay? We'd be lucky to be serving spice to all these goddamn druggies out there, R2. All right, but Empire's probably gonna blast us. That's what they're gonna do. And you see all the sirens are going off, chat, and all the rebels on the ship. They're getting ready to be boarded because now they got caught in the tractor beam of the Star Destroyer, chat. It's like, this is just not good. And so everyone's getting ready, chat. You get all these guys in these weird helmets, and they're standing their ground at this point, chat. They're pointing their goddamn guns, but they know they're going to be overwhelmed. You're facing a battalion of stormtroopers, chat. And listen, but stormtroopers can't shoot for shit. They certainly cannot. But an overwhelming sea, a battalion of stormtroopers, they're eventually going to shoot somebody. So it's not gonna be too good. Whoa, we got a new follower here, chat. Ooh, oh. No, Osnick, thank you for the host. I just saw that. Oh, did we just get a new follower? Thought I just heard my little follower go off and it didn't show up. That was weird. Just want to see, chat. I want to put respect on the people that give me support. We do! Bertha Gertrude Hornface. That's a hell of a long name, but I'll thank you nonetheless. Thank you. You're my new Huckleberry. Hope you're doing very well tonight. So, chat. All these guys are getting prepared, and this blast story, it just, boom, it comes down, and everyone starts blasting each other, chat. Stormtroopers, rebel fighters, but the Stormtroopers, they have a distinct advantage, and they're taking all these guys out. And R2 and C3, they're running as fast as they fucking can to get out of the way, chat. As the firefights going on, they're dodging and dipping and diving and ducking past all these blaster bolts, chat. And R2 and C3PO, they get separated. It's like, where R2? Where the hell did you go? Oh, he is being given an important mission, chat. Because we see this mysterious woman cloaked in fog wearing this pure white dress with cinnamon buns on the side of her head. And she's putting a little, she's recording a message for R2-D2. Saying she's to a particular person, chat. We don't know who it is yet. But C-3PO, he's a sneaky son of a bitch. He was listening. He caught some about Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. I don't know who this Obi-Wan is, but we got to get the hell out of here, R2. And then Leia, she entrusts this to R2, and she goes off, chat. What did she do? We shall soon find out. We shall soon find out. And C-3PO's like, listen, R2, we got to get the hell out of here. What are we going to do? And R2's like, I'm going to go for the fucking escape pods. But C-3PO's like, listen, we can't use those, all right? We're droids. We are the lowest form of shit on the totem pole, R2. Those are reserved for the goddamn humies. We can't go on there. And R2's like, I'm going to go on there. And then fucking C-3PO gets like, he's like blasted over his head. He's like, fuck it. All right, fuck protocol. I'm going in here. And they enter the escape pod, chat, on the Tantive 4. Meanwhile, we cut to the entry point that the Stormtroopers blasted on in, and we see him, chat, for the first time ever. This big dick Darth Vader. He walks in, and he's got his hands on his hips like a Karen. He's like, good work, boys. I appreciate this. And he's going on his merry goddamn way, chat. He's got to find out what's going on in this ship. And we soon find that. We see that Darth Vader, he is painfully choking one Captain Antilles of the Tantive 4, and he's asking, where did you place the Death Star plans? And he's like, we're a fucking, political vessel. We're on a peaceful mission to Alderaan. It's like, and Vader, he calls him out on his bullshit. He's like, listen, if this was a peaceful political mission, then where's your ambassador? And he's like, fuck you. And he just, and he crushes his throat, he crushes his throat, fucking eyeballs pop out, blood down his thing. He goes, and Vader just throws him across the room. It's like, Jesus. And now he's saying to the Stormtroopers, listen, the plans are on this ship. Kill everyone you see, and I want the plans in my goddamn fist by the end of this time. And they're like, all right, shit, we'll do that. Meanwhile, chat, we cut back to Leia Organa, and she's trying to get out of there too. And we see this patrol of Stormtroopers, and the first guy says, all right, we got one of them over here. Be sure, everyone, to set your blasters to stun. We don't want to kill her. And then she fucking blasts that guy in the face, which I always thought that was pretty fucked up that she blasted that guy in the face. And she obviously heard him say, everyone, please set your stun, set your blasters to stun. We don't want to kill her. We don't want to hurt her. And she fucking kills that guy. I would have been like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill this girl. This who shot my best friend in the face. But then she gets that one off, but then they stun her, chat. And she's down for the count. And then eventually they take her back to Darth Vader. And he's like, fucking Princess Leia. You're a traitor to the Empire and a rebel. And she's like, well, listen, no. That's not what it has to do with anything, Vader. I'm on a peaceful diplomatic mission to Alderaan. He's like, no, you're not. I know you're lying. I saw at the end of Rogue One, the ship's ass blasted off. I knew where I was. I killed all those guys in the hallway scene. That was amazing, by the way. And so I know you're lying. She's a traitor. Take her away. And then this other guy comes up to her. And they're speculating, yeah, I think she probably blasted the plans off in this escape pod that just went off. Vader's like, what? And then we cut to that escape pod, chat, C-3PO, R2-D2 inside, and the guys in the Star Destroyer are like, no, don't shoot at it, don't shoot that one, there's no life forms aboard. Probably just malfunction, chat, and we see R2 and C-3PO in this thing, and they're going down to the depths of this planet. What's this planet, chat? We shall soon find out. And they crash land, and it's a desert world, chat. It is we don't know yet, but it is the desert world of Tatooine, which is featured throughout the Star Wars franchise, twice in the original trilogy, twice in the prequel trilogy, and once, chat, in the new trilogy. And they're down there, and C-3PO's is like, we are fucked. We are fucked. We don't know where to go. Where we're going to go. And R2-D2 is like, I got my mission, man. I'm going to go this way. I got to find the guy to give him the plans. He's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? It's like, I want to go this way. There's less rocks here. I don't want to trip on shit. 3PO's like, and R2-D2's like, I got to go this way. It's rocky. You don't want R2? Fuck you. You drag me along on this little adventure here. We're in a goddamn desert planet. Captain Antilles is dead. Leia's captured. I want nothing to do with you. Don't follow me. Don't you dare follow me. And R2's very sad, but he's after R2's like, you know what? Good fucking riddance. You always complain. But you complained for the past 19 goddamn years when I met you. I'm done. And they go their separate ways. And they go to separate. R2 never gives a fuck. He really doesn't. Oh, man. Okay, plot hold me always. Why did he never know that she was his daughter, or at least recognize that she had powers of the Force? Well, because Vader thought, Padme. Now we're getting a whole other films, chat. Padme, she died before she birthed. She front pooped out the babies, and he didn't know. She can't. Leia doesn't even realize the Force abilities that she has. Maybe she's suppressing them. We don't know. Vader doesn't say it. Maybe he doesn't really give a shit. Maybe he's just like, listen, I want my goddamn Death Star plans to appease Grand Moff Tarkin, who's on my ass, and Emperor Palpatine, too. That's what I can expect, Jeff. Anyway, R2's the beeping trash can. He is indeed. He's the blue beeping trash can, where they hide a little dwarf man inside. Kenny Baker, if you will. Anthony Daniel, C-3PO. And so, chat, we're following good old C-3PO. He's walking around this desert, and he said, oh, God, I fucked up. I don't know where I'm going. Everything's dead out here. Oh, Jesus. But he sees something in the distance, chat. He sees this large mobile sandcrawler making its way. He's got a little flashing light. He's like, oh, thank Christ. I'm here. Come save me. I'm out here. Ah! And then, chat, we cut. What happened to C-3PO? Well, we'll soon find out. We'll find out. Then we cut to R2-D2, chat, and he's moseying on down. He's going through this canyon, and then we see the dirty little Jawas, chat. The Jawas, they're watching R2-D2. And these little bastards, chat, they're greedy little sons of bitches. All they want are droids. They want to shoot droids and sell them. They might as well just steal shit. They pilfer. That's what we saw in The Mandalorian 2, chat. They don't care that's owned by somebody. It's like, nah, fuck it. Fucking, we're making a claim right now, and we're taking all this shit, chat. And see, they're just watching little R2-D2, and boom, they give him an ion laser blast, chat, and he gets knocked the fuck out. Keels over, and they're like, all right, take him back to the sandcrawler. So they take him back there, chat. They send him up, get sucked up via the sandcrawler tube. He sucks him right up. They put a restraining bolt on him, chat, so he doesn't wander off. He is now under the control of the Jawas. And so he gets sucked up, and R2, he's like, what the fuck? He finally comes to, and he sees just these pathetic and sad-looking droids, chat. I mean, you can tell these guys just fucking kill me, Art. Just kill me. You see the little Gonk droid, Gonk. And it's the saddest Gonk droid you ever seen, Gonk. Oh my god, just put them out of their misery. And then R2's this guy, he's scared, shit. He's covered in fucking tinfoil and shit. But then, oh, C-3PO's there too. He's like, oh, R2, thank God. Oh my god. Oh, R2, they were terrible. They were terrible how they treated me. I'm so glad you're here. So they're happy, chat. They're having a good time. Meanwhile, we cut to outer space again. And, they have brought Princess Leia to the Death Star, Chad. The Death Star's there. And Vader, he's about to do some torturing to one Princess Leia Organa, Chad. Has to find out the location of that goddamn rebel base. He needs to know. And even before this, he goes into the meeting, chat, and we're introduced to one Grand Moff Tarkin, chat, because you see all these Imperial admirals and generals. These are actually the highest-ranking officials in the Empire, chat. And they're all arguing amongst themselves. We see General Teague. He's saying he has no confidence in the Death Star. He's like, the resources we've spent on this battle station are astronomical. We only got one, and it seems to be causing more problems than positive at this point. And you got the one smarmy Imperialist like, the fuck, no, this is the most feared weapon in all the galaxy. All the planets, all the goddamn mud people will bow before us. And everyone's going back and forth. And then he walks in, chat, which I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan of Grand Moff Tarkin, chat. He walks in, he immediately takes control of the situation. And fucking Vader's is number two. Like, Vader's not the leader in the situation, chat. It's Grand Moff Tarkin. He's the one who's making the orders. He's very much the military lead in the Empire, chat. He's the most powerful governor in the Empire. Whereas Palpatine has kind of taken this, like, in the years since the fall of the Old Republic, Palpatine has taken kind of a step back, and he's concentrating on all his dark side mumbo jumbo, and he kind of lets Grand Moff Tarkin do what he wants. Like, listen, just make sure that all the plans stay in line. I trust you. Like, Palpatine actually really liked Grand Moff Tarkin. And so he's the one that's kind of calling the shots. And he's like, guys, don't worry about anything. The Emperor just dissolved the Imperial Senate. We are now the authority of the galaxy. People were like, how can we do that? He's like, don't worry. All the other Moffs have their own specific sections. Grand Moffs too. We are now in control. And yeah, everyone's just like, I don't know. I don't know about this. But the one smarmy looking Imperial general guy, or whatever leader he is, he's like, you know what, I'm into Grand Moff Tarkin. We have the most powerful battle station in the galaxy. We got this. And Vader, he's been very quiet this whole time. You know, he goes, you know what, yeah, you may have constructed this mechanical monstrosity, but it is insignificant to the power of the Force. And that guy goes, oh, Vader, you and that hokey religion. Oh, please, you're practicing a dying form. A dying form of combat, Vader. Please shut. And Vader starts choking the shit out of the guy. And everyone's like, holy fuck. And even Grand Moff Tarkin, he's like, all right, okay, Vader, enough of that. And he's like, as you wish. And this guy's like, oh my god. It's great. Tarkin's like, enough of this goddamn squabbling. What we need to concentrate on right now is to find the rebel base. And Vader's like, I'm working on it. And that's in chat. We see him going to Leia Organa. Got the little torture droid chat. And he's about to inject her with things. We don't know what it is, but I guess it's Truth Seer. It's a torture droid. And then, chat, we cut back to Tatooine. And we are seeing the droids being lined up for auction, including R2-D2 and C-3PO, chat. We're introduced to Luke Skywalker, chat, one of the greatest cinematic heroes in film history. He's walking out with good old Owen Lars, chat. They own a moisture farm on Tatooine. They literally fucking suck the moisture out of the air and sell it to these mud people. And so they're all excited because they need an astromech droid, chat, and they need a protocol droid, especially one that speaks Bocce. I need one that speaks Bocce and can also speak to the moisture evaporators because they're very mean. They get a little antsy sometimes when they're sucking the moisture out. And so Luke and Owen, they go over there. Owen's like, yeah. He's talking to C-3PO. Listen, do you speak Bocce? He's like, of course I speak Bocce, sir. I know 6 million forms of communication. All right, shut the fuck up. All right, I'll buy him, and I'll buy the red droid. I don't know what he is. The red one, the red astromech droid. And the Jawa's like, fuck, sure. And, Luke, he takes him, but all of a sudden, chat, the little red astromech droid, he explodes. It's just horribly graphic, and he's dead. And then C-3PO goes, yeah, it kind of sucks what happened to that one. But let me tell you, Luke, let me tell you something. That little blue one right there, that astromech droid, R2-D2 is his name. I mean, I just met him, but he seems really competent. Why don't you pick him instead? C-3PO was like a little lying son of a bitch, chat. C-3PO... People like shit on C-3PO, but he fucking gets out of situations very handedly, Chad. He's got some skills. He has some skills, okay? Especially in the latter half of the film. I'll point him out to you. And Luke's like, Uncle Owen, what about that droid? He's like, what about that droid? And, they go over, Chad, and they start talking. And he's like, I'll take the blue one. Luke, go ahead and get him all situated, get him cleaned up, and I want him working on the Western Ridge by tomorrow afternoon. And Luke is like, but Uncle Owen, I was going to go to Tashi Station and pick up some bananas. But Uncle Owen's like, I don't care. Get him ready. And so they gone over, chap. Good old Luke, he's giving C-3PO a nice, hot, steamy oil bath, and C-3PO is just giddy about it. He's so excited. He's telling about the horrible situation that he and R2-D2 went through, chat. That, oh yeah, we were on the Tantive 4 and the Empire attacked. Luke's like, Jesus Christ, you were a part of the Rebel Alliance. He's like, yeah, man, it was fucked up. And meanwhile, Luke, he's trying to get all this carbon scoring off of R2-D2, and he's like, there's something stuck in here. And he go, boom, and he takes it off, chat, and then this message starts playing. It's Leia Organa, and all she's saying is, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. And it repeats over and over and over again. Luke's like, what is this? And C-3PO was like, what is this? Well, then R2's like, it's the fucking message, the guy who I gotta take it to. And Luke's like, well, I don't know an Obi-Wan Kenobi, but maybe this woman who's hot, by the way. Luke is just like, you know what? This is the most beautiful girl in the universe. I want to desperately smooch her, chat, because back in the day, George Lucas had not figured out at this point that Luke and Leia were brother and sister. That was not in the cards yet. All right, he may say otherwise, but it was not. And so he's like, I love to smooch this girl, but I wonder if she's talking about old Ben Kenobi. And C-3PO, who the fuck is that? And let me tell you, C-3PO, he's a crazy old hermit living out on the edge of the dunes. See, Uncle Owen says he's always speaking about that mumbo-jumbo, so I don't really see him all that often. And C-3PO goes, that's crazy. He's like, you know what? Maybe if I take off the restraining bolt off a little R2-D2 here, I could see the rest of the message. And so he goes over. He's like, you promise, R2, you won't run away? And you won't run away from my moisture farm? And R2 goes, yeah, sure, man. Yeah. I won't run away. R2's a little lying son of a bitch. And so he takes off the restraining bolt. And Luke's like, okay, play the rest of the message. R2's like, what message? I love it. It's so good. He's like, the message you were just playing. He's like, I don't know nothing about no message. He was like, stop fucking with Luke. Show him the message. Archie's like, what do you want from me? I hear I gotta go repair something off on the Western Ridge. I'll see you later. And then Luke, he gets called by Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, Chad. Good old Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen taking care of this kid that was left on their doorstep 19 years ago, Chad. They always wanted a baby boy. They got one. They got one very quick. And so they've been raising him. And Uncle Owen, he's like, listen, Luke, I know you want to go to the Imperial... Luke wants to go to the Imperial Academy, chat, to train as a pilot. And it's interesting. It's like people in the Star Wars Galaxy, they go to the Academy to get the proper training that they need, and they either join the Empire or they end up getting other jobs. But it's kind of interesting that, man, they like you have all these people that are forced to go to this school, to this Galactic Academy that's just evil. It's just, I was like, oh, it's always kind of threw me off. Even though, like, Luke hates the Empire, it's like, I'm still gonna go to their goddamn school. Do you see those fucking classes? I need to. And so Uncle Owen's like, listen, Luke, I know I promised you that, I let you go to the Imperial Academy this season, but I need you for this, man. You can go next year. And Luke's like, but I really want to be able to go to the Academy. I want to take these classes. Uncle Owen's like, listen, having the droids here is great, and maybe I'll make enough this season to hire some more hands, but I need you here right now. And Luke's like, man. And he walks away. Uncle Owen's like, I don't know what to do. And Aunt Beru, she's like, listen, you can't keep him here forever. He wants to go out. He wants to experience life. You know, he's got, and I love this line, especially in hindsight, he's got too much of his father in him. And Uncle Owen goes, yeah, and that's what I'm afraid of. I love that line, especially in context when we learn about that. So by this time, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, probably told by Ben Kenobi all those years ago, the end of the Sith, that that Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader, was a Sith Lord, and is protecting him, chat. Like, underrated characters. Let me tell you, chat. What happens, what Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen Lars do, chat, for Luke is incredible. Keeping him safe like that. I mean, they're not even blood related either. That's the crazy thing about it. But they still loved him anyway, and they protected him from his father in the Empire, chat. Because if Vader knew about him, or if the Empire knew, if Palpatine knew, but they would have fucking taken that kid, and they would have done horrible things. They've killed him or turned to the dark side, chat. Underrated characters, and they tried to keep him safe. And what happens to them is so goddamn tragic. But then Chad, he goes back to he's checking in on the droids and shit, and C-3PO's hiding. He's being weird and shit. And Luke's like, "What are you doing, C-3PO?" He's like, "I'm sorry, sir. He just." Oh no, before that, Chad, I'm sorry. No, we get one of the most iconic shots in all Star Wars. So he goes out, he's upset, and we see the iconic dual sunset on Tatooine, Chad, and you hear Luke's theme, like where it's like ba 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 ba, and you see that he's like, oh my God, it's the hero's journey. I love it. Luke, Uncle Owen will always be Luke's daddy. I'm right there with you, Joey. I'm right there with you. Law, thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. An iconic scene, Darkslayer. I mean, just amazing. I love it so much. And then he goes back downstairs, and that's when he sees C-3PO doing some weird shit, some weird kinky shit. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I told him not to leave, but he left. He's like, R2 left? He told me he wouldn't. Yeah, he's a lying son of a bitch. He looks like, fuck. And he goes up there, chat, and he's like, oh, shit. He's got his little Star Wars binoculars. He's looking every which way. And he's like, oh, he's gone. He's so fucking gone. I'm fucking dead. We're gonna have to go out for him at the break of dawn, C-3PO, to find him. Because if Uncle Owen, if you and R2 are on the Western Ridge talking those moisture evaporators. I am boned. I am fucked. And C-3PO was like, all right, we'll do that. And so the next morning, Uncle Owen, he's calling for Luke chat, and he goes over to the Emperor, where's Luke? And she said he's going to be doing some repairs on the Western Ridge with C-3PO. And R2-D2 said just wanted to get an early morning. And, Owen Lars is like, wow, that's good initiative on Luke. That's great. And chat, this is the last time we see Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen alive. This is the last time. We see him again, but they're not alive anymore. And so, chat, we see Luke. He's in his little speeder. The X-34 speeder, very, very, a good model, but they got the X-38s out right now, and everyone's obsessed with them. But the X-36 is pretty good. And so they're driving out there, and Luke, he gets a goddamn sight on R2-D2, and he stops. He's like, where the hell are you going? And R2's like, I gotta go see Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he's like, oh, Jesus Christ, this is crazy. But then, chat, he gets something picked up on his scanner, on his speeder, and he's like, it's an organic thing. Oh, there must be fucking Tusken Raiders out here, sand people. And C-3PO is like, well, we should probably leave, right? And Luke's like, no, we should go check them out. We should go check them out, see where these sand people are. And he gets a fucking rifle, chat, and he goes, C-3PO goes, we're fucked. This kid's gonna get us killed. He goes over this little ridge, he's looking, he's like, I see a couple of banthas, but, I don't see any sand. He's like, oh, no, there's one sand person. And then chat, and one is right in front of him. He goes, ah! He fucking falls back. And this guy's like, I'm going to kill you. He's like trying to smash him, chat. He's going to smush him with his graffiti stick. And eventually, and C-3PO goes, what the fuck? He falls back, chat. R2-D2, little son of a bitch, chat. He hides. He hides like, these people are going to get themselves killed. I got to deliver a goddamn message. And so these same people, after they've bludgeoned Luke severely, they drag him back to the speeder, and they start pilfering it. But then, chat, we hear this animalistic howl. And they're like, oh, fuck, no, not that. And they take off. And, chat, we see this, I love it, too. We see this guy going, ah, ah, in this hooded robe. And he comes upon Luke Skywalker, chat. He's like, oh, hell yeah. Ben's gonna party tonight. But he leans over to Luke Skywalker, chat, places his hands on his body, not in a sexual way, chat, in a concerned grandfather way, and checks on him. And then he hears little R2-D2 beeping and booping and bopping and reveals his hood, chat. And it's Alec Guinness. And then Luke comes to, and he's like, oh, you had quite an adventure today, my young friend. He's like, Ben Kenobi, oh, well, boy, am I glad to see you. He's like, yeah, you almost got fucking bludgeoned to death by sand people. And he's like, Ben, I'm actually glad you're here. I had this little droid, that little son of a bitch who's fucking hiding. Come out here. And Ben, he's like, he says that he belongs to you. He's like, I don't remember owning any droid anytime. It was like, well, we're looking for someone named Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I know, you're Ben Kenobi. Is he a relative of yours? He's like, oh, I know Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's me. But no one's called me that for quite some time. And he has fucking PTSD flashbacks to fucking Anakin Skywalker being a burned goddamn torso on the lava flats of Mustafar. But he comes back from that. He says, yeah. So it's crazy. Listen, you know what? They hear the sand people, they're howling again. He's like, we got to get back inside, my young friend. I got a lot to tell you. And Luke's like, oh shit, where's C-3PO? They go back to C-3PO chat. He got fucked up. He's got an arm that was ripped off. And he's like, why'd you leave me? I'm so loud. And he's like, just fucking let me die. You don't care about me. And they're like, no, we're going to help you. They load him up in the speeder chat. And they go to the abode of Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Ben Kenobi just begins dropping some bombs on Luke. He's like, listen, there's probably a lot you don't know about your father. And he's like, oh, yeah, Uncle Owen always told me he was a navigator on a space freighter. And Obi-Wan Kenobi's like, no, he was not, Luke. He was a Jedi Knight like myself during the days of the Old Republic. Before the Dark Times, before the Empire. Not only was he a fantastic Jedi, he was also the best star pilot in the galaxy. And a good friend. And a whiner. He was a big whiner, but he was also a good friend. Not in the prequel trilogy, but in the Star Wars Clone Wars episodes. A lot of context right there. You gotta watch those. Luke's like, what the fuck are you talking? He's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. By the way, Yeah, when you came of age, your father would have always wanted me to give this to you. And he goes over the chat and he reveals Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. He presents it to him. And he's like, that's a lightsaber. That's a Jedi's weapon. A weapon of it's not as clumsy as a blaster, but it's a weapon of a more civilized age, my friend. Luke after he's like, whoa, he's like, boom, boom, boom. He's like, no safety. And the Ben's like, wait, don't. He actually cuts his fucking arm off. And Luke, he's like, hey, what happened to my father? How did he die? And Ben's like, without dignity. No, in all seriousness. There was another guy. His name was Darth Vader. He was also my apprentice. And he turned to the dark side, Luke. Dark side, very bad. And he betrayed and murdered your father. Threw him in a volcano. It was very fucked up. I saw it. It was not good. It was not good. And he helped the Empire take over the galaxy and wiped out all the Jedi. Now there are barely any of us, Luke, left. I'm like the only one. You haven't met Yoda yet. That's an Empire, but he's out there too. And also Ahsoka Tano, but we don't know about Ahsoka yet. That's like 40 fucking years in the future before she's introduced in the Star Wars Clone Wars. But anyway. You got that going. You follow me, Luke? And he's like, that's a lot. And Ben is like, listen, kid, I want to teach you the ways of the Force. The galaxy needs you. But he's like, well, before we get into all that, let's play the message. They play the message chat, and they see it in its full context. Leia Organa, she pops on, and she's saying, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Contained within this droid are the plans of the battle station known as the Death Star, capable of destroying a planet. I need you to take this droid to my father in Alderaan so that he can bring this to the Senate's attention and take Emperor Palpatine out of power. And Ben Kenobi's like, that's some serious shit. Hey, kid, you want to go on an adventure with me? And Luke's like, I can't do that. But he's like, listen, Luke, you got it. I want to train you in the ways of the Force, okay? I want you to join the Rebel Alliance. Let me do this with you. And Luke's like, I got to fucking work on moisture evaporators. My Uncle Owen, he's already going to be mad at me because I'm not near the fucking Western Ridge. And Ben's like, You gotta do what feels right. You gotta do what feels right. He's like, I mean, listen, I can take you as far as Anchorhead, okay? And Ben, he's disappointed. He's giving that sad face. He's like, I can take you as far as Anchorhead. And Ben's like, all right, let's hop on. I'm gonna get my stuff. They go on the speeder chat, but then they come across the Sandcrawler chat that the little Jawas were in, and they come across there and they see all the Jawas have been killed. They've all been executed, and the Sandcrawler is inoperable, Chad. It's been destroyed. And Luke's like, what the hell could have done this? And you know, was it sand people? And Ben's like, no. What sand people do is that they hide their numbers by walking in single file. No, what we see here, because of the precision, which is bullshit, Ben. You haven't been in the, you haven't seen these stormtroopers shooting anytime soon. Because of the precisions of these executions, only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise. And then Luke's like, well, wait a minute. If they track the droids to the Sandcrawler, then they probably track them home. And Ben's like, it's too dangerous, Luke. Don't go back. He's like, I gotta go back. I gotta save Uncle Owen and the Emperor. I gotta make sure they're okay. And then he Uncle Owen's like, fuck. All right, well, go ahead. Stay safe. And then he goes back there, chat. He pulls up. And I'm sorry, this gets me every time. Like, again, even though we're only introduced to Emperor and Uncle Owen, like, for a brief time, like, when you think in context, the effort they put into raising Luke and keeping him safe. What he sees is incredibly tragic. He goes up there, chat, the homestead is fucking burning, and he's looking for them, and he sees it. It has freaked me out as a child. We see the burned, charred skeletons, chat, with still layers of meat on them. Charred layers of meat on them, and he sees them. They crawled out of their fucking homestead, chat, and he's like, holy fuck, he sees his uncle. And listen, people like get on Mark Hamill's back. He's like not the greatest actor in the world, but he fucking sells this, okay? He sells this scene. You see just the shock on his face. He's like, Jesus Christ. And then he just goes back, chat. And Ben's like, yeah, they died, didn't they? He's like, yeah, they were dead. C-3PO's burned the Jawas. He's laughing. He's like, ha, you goddamn Jawa bastards. He's burning them. He's having a good time. And Luke's like, listen, there's nothing left for me here. Teach me the ways of the Jedi. Teach me the ways of the Force. And Ben's like, I'm glad you said that, kid. All it took was the death of your loved ones to convince you to join me. That's perfect. And so let's go. And so they go ahead. They drive out there. Ooh, Empire fired. They literally fired relatives, Devin. You got that right. You peed yourself when you saw that. It's freaky. It got really real, Chad. There's no doubt about that. A crispy like break-in, Naya, indeed. And so Luke, he gets everyone in the speeder. They drive out, and they're on the outskirts of Mos Eisley. And Ben Kenobi's like, I hate this place. There's never been a bigger hive of scum and villainy. He's like, watch yourself when you're going down here, Luke. And they go down there, chat, and they're driving. But there's a lot of stormtrooper patrols. The Empire's here. They found the escape pod. Vader ordered them on Tatooine. Vader didn't go himself. I'm not going to that fucking planet. There's sand down there. It's tough. It's rough. It's coarse, it's irritating, it gets everywhere. It gets in my ventilator. I'm not going down there. No fucking thank you. Find that shit. And they're doing. That's what they killed the Jawas, and they killed Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen Lars. And so they go through this, and they pass by a Stormtrooper patrol, and they're like, all right, stop and please show us your papers. And Ben's like, you don't need to see our papers. He's like, we don't need to see their papers. And these aren't the droids you're looking for. These aren't the droids we're looking for. He's like, move along. Move along. And Luke's like, how the fuck did you do that? He's like, oh, these guys are fucking dumb jabronis. Listen. All you need, the Force works on dumb jabronis like you never believe, Luke. Okay, I'll teach you this. I'll teach you this some other time. Don't worry about it. He's like, never teaches them the chat. Never teaches them this. And so they go off, and they park the speeder, and like, we gotta find a ship to get the hell off of this planet, chat. And that's what they're going. They're gonna go into the Mos Eisley Cantina, the watering hole of one Mos Eisley spaceport. They go in there, and then we just see just a plethora, chat, of all sorts of cool looking monsters. Now, this is where, throughout this, sadly, chat, during this whole Mos Eisley scene, even beforehand, we see a lot of the additions, the special edition, and some of them are just, they're not great. Like in the cantina, actually, they look good. They added some new puppets in the background. We played some other ones. That looks great because they're practical effects. But before we get to the cantina, there's a whole bunch of CGI. Like you see like these Jawas riding a Ronto, chat, which is like a giant reptilian giraffe thing. It's like a goofy moment. You see one fucking droid like bash another droid out of the sky. It's like, oh, that was necessary. Didn't need that at all. Didn't need that at all. So that was my one, don't need this. But they're in there, and Ben Kenobi's like, I gotta go find someone to get us a ship out of here. But then the fucking bartender's like, we don't want their kind here. He's like, what are we talking about? And it's like, he doesn't want the droids in there, chap. Bartender Werther doesn't want the droids, and he's like, Luke's like, all right, 3PO, R2, maybe it's best if you wait outside. He's like, yeah, we'll do that. They wait outside, chat. Meanwhile, Ben Kenobi, he starts talking, schmoozing with everyone. One pilot's just like, you want to talk to Chewie here, and then Ben Kenobi gets in a conversation with Chewbacca, chat, second in command of the Millennium Falcon. But during this, Luke, he goes up to the bar, and he pulls on the bartender's shirt. He's like, I would like a bantha milk, please. And bartender's like, here you go, here's your bantha milk. And then, chat, we see a walrus man. He pushes Luke. He's like, I don't like you. He does not like Luke, chat. Luke's like, all right, what the fuck's his problem? And then Dr. Evan Zan, chat, he comes over. It's a pig-faced man. The pig-faced man says, he doesn't like you. And he's like, I'm sorry. I don't like you either. And he's like, I have the death sentence on 11 systems. He's like, well, good for you. What do you want me to do about it? I don't know. Why would I care? Why would you care? You'd be dead. And like, Ben's like, hey, listen. Guys, my furrow friends here, this little one is not worth it. And Dr. Evan Zan, he disagrees because he just, he throws Luke across the room, and Ben's like, all right, shit's about to get real. Activates his lightsaber, chat. The second time we see a lightsaber in action in the movie. And he fucking, and he slices the walrus man's hand off, chat. Doesn't cauterize the wound, which is weird. And then you get this little shit-eating grin on Ben Kenobi's face. He's like, I have not done this in years. And it's so satisfying. Haven't killed someone with a lightsaber since fucking Darth Maul. In the Clone War and Rebels. It was very fun. And he's like, yeah, everyone's like, shit, all right. So let's just pick it up, boys. Let's pick it up. And that guy he's lost a hand. And Chewie's like, hey, I'll bring you over to my friend here. And they go and sit down, chat at a booth, and we're introduced to one of cinema's greatest rogues ever, Han motherfucking Solo, chat. Played perfectly by Harrison Ford. And this is just one cocky son of a bitch. He's like, yeah, I can get you guys off planet, with the Millennium Falcon. You ever heard of Millennium Falcon? Because like, no. The Millennium Falcon, that ship did the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, okay? And it outruns Star Cruise like nobody business. Imperial, not fucking, the clunkers you see on the outskirts here on Tatooine. No, I'm talking about the big fucking capital ships, baby. That's what I can promise you. And Ben's like, that's impressive. And Luke's like, well, I'm a pretty good pilot myself. And Han's like, I wasn't talking to you, Junior. I was talking to the old man. He seems to know more than you, getting your ass kicked, getting thrown around by the pig-faced man over there. Shut the fuck up. And Ben's like, listen, what do you need? And Han's like, listen, I'm gonna need 10,000 up front to do this thing. Take you to Alderaan. And Ben's like, how about we pay you 2,000 up front and we pay you 15,000 when we get to Alderaan? And Han's like, okay. You got a deal, old man. They all shake hands and shit. And he's like, I'll meet me at fucking Spaceport 32, whatever the hell it is. And they're like, we'll meet you right there. Ben and Luke, they're heading out the bar. Before they do that, got some Imperial Stormtroopers coming in. Han's like, I think they're gonna here to see your handiwork, and they're like, oh shit, but they take off, Chad. They take off, and Ben's like, listen, I don't have any money. You're gonna have to sell your speeder. And Luke's like, I don't care. I'm never coming back to this planet anytime soon, which is a lie. He comes back, Return of the Jedi, Chad. Comes back, Return of the Jedi. And so they go do the thing, but right before Han, he's about to leave, he's like, all right, Chewie, go. These guys must be fucking desperate. Go prep the Falcon. I'll be right behind you. I'm going to pay my tab. He's a good guy Han Solo, chat. Going to pay his drinking tab. But, he's stopped by one Greedo, chat. Greedo, he's there. He's been sent by Jabba the Hutt, and he's like, Greedo, listen, I just got a job. I'm going to get the money. I have the money. I'm going to pay Jabba back. No time. Greedo's like, no, how about this? How about this, Solo? Slimo, how about you give me that money and I'll pretend I never saw you? And Han's like, I don't have it with me. Okay, I'll have it eventually. While this is all happening, he is uncocking that big old DL-44 pistol, my friends. Blaster, 25 shots in this bad boy. Goes through Imperial armor like fucking butter. And he's cocking this goddamn thing while Greedo's just like not paying attention. And Han, he's talking, they're both talking shit, and Greedo's like, well, how about this? How about you just give me your ship, and then we'll call it a day? And Han's like, over my dead body. And then, chat, we hear the line to end all lines. Greedo says, McClunky, and they shoot each other, chat, and Greedo, he's dead. And it's weird because Han somehow missed Greedo missed him, even though he's sitting less than 2 feet away, and does a little with his head. Greedo completely does it. Who shot first? It's Han. Han shots. I don't give a shit. Han always shot first. Greedo's dead, but he did say McClunky, chat. I did like that addition there. And so he's fucking Greedo. He's face first, just cooking. This is innards, just fucking cooking, chat. When you hit by a DL-44 blaster bolt, ooh, that's bad. Yeah, your whole chest cavity's just falling out of yourself. Greedo's insides are now his outsides. And Han, like a fucking badass, chat, walks up, throws the bartender a credit chip, and he says, sorry for the mess. And just walks. Everyone's like, damn, Han, that was badass. And he goes back to the spaceport, chat. He's going back. He's repairing the Falcon. Ben Kenobi and Luke, they just sold the speeder. He's upset because he wanted to sell it for more money. But he couldn't, chat. Those X-38 models, man, those are too goddamn good. People not buying the X-36 anymore. And then we see a weird elephant creature who's spying on Ben Kenobi and Luke. He's a creepy little pervert elephant man, chat. And he's like, he's talking to the Imperial Stormtroopers. He sees the two people they might be looking for, and the droids, and C-3PO and R2-D2. And so eventually, Luke, Ben, Han, and Chewie, they come to the Millennium Falcon, and Luke's like, this is the Millennium Falcon? What a piece of junk. He's like, don't say that. Han looks so offended. He's like, it fucking, it gets 0.5 when it's in in light speed. Okay, I mean, it's what's inside that matters, Luke. Don't judge a book by its cover or a spaceship by its, fucking carbon-scorned exterior, okay? And he's like, it's gonna get you to where you need to go. He's like, yeah, we'll see. It's like, we shall see, Chet. The Millennium Falcon's one of the most iconic ships in all of science fiction and fantasy, of all film. And the fucking weird elephant pervert man, he goes over the stormtrooper. He's like, yeah, the little sexy little boy and the sexy little old man, they're over there. And he's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go over there. They go over there, chat. Fucking Luke and Ben, they're in the Falcon. And the stormtroopers are like, there they are, blast them. It's like, when he started blasting, chat, they just couldn't walk over and say, hey, we're gonna impound your ship, okay? But it was like, blast him, fucking shoot first, shoot again, shoot some more, and ask questions later, apparently. Jesus Christ. And they start blasting. Han's like, fuck. And they start blasting chat. He's like, Chewie, get the ship ready. Everyone runs up the goddamn ramp, beep, bop, boop, and the Millennium Falcon. Great, the liftoff, the first liftoff ever, chat, in cinema history of the Millennium Falcon. It goes off, and it's loud. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Did you see this leave the atmosphere? Leave the atmosphere. of Tatooine. But then, chat, we got 2 goddamn Star Destroyers right behind him. Imperial class Star Destroyer, chat. Not the Victory cruisers, not the fucking Bulwark cruisers that Han was talking about. No, Imperial class. And so, fucking Han's gotta, he's gotta prove him. He was talking a lot of talk in the bar. You gotta prove that you can outrun these goddamn things. And he fucking beep bop boop sets the hyperspace ship. Learn them about hyperspace, chat. It takes time to do the calculations. Because, as Han says, if we don't do the calculations first, we might end up inside a fucking sun or crash landing into the surface of the planet. You got to be very precise. And he does it, chat, and boom, and we get the iconic imagery of those stars like becoming elongated, and you shoot off into space. Everyone's feeling really calm. Meanwhile, chat, we cut to the Death Star. We're back at the Death Star, and Leia, she's being brought to Grand Moff Tarkin. Vader's interrogation efforts, they were a failure, and so Grand Moff Tarkin's like, I got this. I got this in the bag, Vader. You watch and learn, okay, boo-boo? And so Vader brings her over, and Leia, she got the insult. She's bringing the tough talk to Grand Moff Tarkin. She says, "Oh, Grand Moff Tarkin, I thought I smelled your foul stench when I was brought on board." And for some reason, Carrie Fisher has decided to do a British accent in this scene. I don't know why. She even said in interviews, she's like, yeah, initially there was talk about me being British in the movie, but we gave up because I couldn't maintain the accent. And so in this scene, for some reason, Lieutenant Leroy Jenkins, welcome. She has a British accent. Oh, Lieutenant Leroy Jenkins, imagine that those Star Wars Star Destroyers really can keep up with fighters faster than we have seen in the movie. That would be fucking crazy. They were catching up in the Millennium Falcon, though. The Millennium Falcon's a freighter, but still, they were very fast. Maybe they had those turbo lasers, too. And too much coke. Maybe too much, maybe a little too much coke on that morning. And Grand Moff Tarkin's like, oh, charming as ever. And he's like, listen, are you gonna tell me where the rebel base is right now? And she goes, Tarkin's like, okay, fine. We're just gonna test this battle station against your homeworld of Alderaan. She's like, oh no, we're peaceful. We don't like violence. You don't like violence, huh? You're gonna get a whole mess of it right now. And so here we go. He's like, listen, I won't destroy your planet unless you tell me where the rebel base is. She's looking at Alderaan's like, oh, those billions of people on that planet, chat. She goes, it's on Dantooine. It's on Dantooine. He's like, see, Vader, I told you, this is how Vader's just like, he's like, all right, you got me there. You got me there, Grand Moff. I got you. And, Tarkin's like, thanks, honey. All right, guys, continue with the operation. Blow up the planet. And then she's like, what? I told you. She's like, you're far too trusting, and I'm evil. All right, go ahead and blast it. And they blow the shit out of Alderaan, chat. And boom! And Leia's like, oh my god. Tarkin's like, hell yeah. I mean, we're going to get the Dantooine first, but honestly, I wanted to see what actually blowing up a planet would be like. Because I've only done single ignition reactions on fucking Scarif and Jedha, and those are really cool. But I want to be the one that blows up a planet first, and so nailed it. So I'll see you at Dantooine. And so they fly off the Dantooine ship. Meanwhile, we cut back to the Millennium Falcon, and Ben Kenobi has oh, Jesus. Looks like, what's wrong? He's like, oh, for whatever reason, it just felt like I was just hit by the cries of billions of people, and then all of a sudden they were extinguished in an instant. Luke goes, that's fucking heavy. He's like, yeah, keep up your training and shit. I'm gonna sit down for a minute. He's feeling a lot in that moment, yeah. And Luke, he's practicing with his lightsaber against this little droid shooting little stun blasts at him. Han comes over, he's like, well, there you go, guys. We're about 2 hours away from Alderaan. And it's like, no Star Destroyers behind us. No one's listening to him. He's like, all right, don't thank me all at once. He sits down. He's watching Luke. Luke gets his ass blasted by a blastable. He's like, ha, 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 look at you. Oh, that's funny. That's funny, kid. Yeah, you using your Jedi Force skills. Very, very adorable. And, Ben Kenobi is just like, listen, the Force is incredibly powerful, Han. It does so many things. It penetrates us. It exists in all organisms. And Han's like, listen to me, kid. Listen to me, kid. The only thing you at your side is a good blast, not that little laser sword. And Luke, very presumptuous, says, you don't believe in the Force, do you? Yeah, Luke, the thing you just heard of like 5 minutes ago on Tatooine. The first time you've ever heard that? Okay. And Ben's like, We'll prove him wrong. Here, Luke is right. I want to put this helmet on. But I can't see if this helmet on. He's like, that's the point. Trust your feelings. Reach out, and you'll be able to deflect the blaster bolts. And then, Chad, he does it. He reaches out, and boom, 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 blocks them all. He goes, whoa, I felt it, Ben. He's like, hell yeah, you did, kid. I know you did. And then all of a sudden, chat, they hear some. I guess it cuts to that. Eventually, Han, he's back at the cockpit. And he's like, all right, boys, we're just about to get out of hyperspace right here. And here we go. Holy shit! And there's these, he's in the middle of an asteroid field. He's like, what the fuck? And everyone's coming in like, what happened? He's like, I don't know. We fucking exit hyperspace in the middle of an asteroid field. And I mean, Alderaan should be right there. Oh. And they're like, where's Alderaan? He's like, that's what I'm telling you, kid. It's right there. It's been blown away. This is debris. And it's just like, how could that happen? Ben's like, it's been destroyed by the Empire. And Han Solo's like, you would need a massive starfleet of 1,000 ships to destroy a planet. He's like, well, they just fucking did it. And meanwhile, Jet, when they're trying to figure all this stuff, get out of the asteroid field, they see they got a little thing on the scanner pops up, and it's an Imperial starfighter. It's like, whoa, what? Did he follow us? He's like, no, that's a short range fighter. And they see that it's heading towards this moon. Han's like, that's weird. But Ben, he's looking at this thing. They're getting closer. He's like, that's no moon, motherfuckers. That's a space station. And chat, right before Han's like, all right, we're going to get the fuck out of here. They get caught in the tractor beam. And they're like, oh, shit. And so they're like, it looks like we can't get us out. He's like, I can't, man. I can't no matter what I can do. This is a one-way fucking ticket. And so they slowly approach this thing, this massive space, this Falcon, which looks so big to begin with. It's just this teeny, tiny little speck next to the Death Star. But they go inside their chat, they in this hangar, and you already know the fucking Imperials, they want to see what's in there. And Darth Vader himself is like, all right, you guys, you go up in there and get that shit. All right, I want to see who these people are. And so Han's like, he's panicking. He's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm not going to go down without a fight. And Ben's like, listen, there are alternatives to fighting. Sometimes it's better not to fight. And Han's like, that's a good idea. And so all these Imperials, they board the Falcon, chat, but they can't find anyone. They can't find the droids. They can't find Han, Luke, Chewie, nobody. And they're like, all right, we'll just fucking go back downstairs and we'll get a scanner to see maybe if they're hiding somewhere. They go down there, and then we see these, Han pops up in these crawl spaces, chat, where he hides his contraband. And I was like, fuck, I can't believe that worked. And Ben's like, yeah, there you go. See, always alternatives to fighting. But we got to get the hell out of here. We got to shut down that tractor beam. Ben's like, I'll handle that, boys. Don't worry about it. You make sure to get these imps off her goddamn back. And look for the princess. We got to look for Princess Leia Organa. She must be here, too, since Alderaan has been blown up. And so they get out there, chat, and they're like, okay, we need some goddamn disguises. And so we see these two Imperial guys. They're bringing up some equipment, the scanner up to this fucking flight of stairs, and then they hear a bullet. Like you hear this commotion, and like you hear a Han say, "Can you boys help us up here? This is heavy." And you're like, "Oh, okay." And they go up there, and they just get fucking bludgeoned. They bludgeon these stormtroopers to death, chat. It's not good. And then Luke and Han, they put on the outfits, and you even have. What's his name? You have one of them step out. I think it's like Luke or someone. And he's like, because one guy's like, TK4217, why aren't you at your post? And he's like, I can't hear you. He's like, we got a broken comm. I'm going to go down there and fix it. You guys hold off. He walks to the goddamn door, chat, and then Chewbacca's there, and he fucking crushes the man's head. Just smushes his head, chat. He's like, everyone starts freaking out. Han starts blasting. Ben Kenobi starts force choking, force pulling, force pushing, chat. It's a massacre. Eventually they'll go up there, and you're like, wow, okay. And you gotta look where the tractor beam is. And so R2-D2, he plugs himself. He inserts his robo-penis, chat, inside the Death Star without asking permission. That's not good. That's not appropriate, R2. I mean, even though they're in a hurry, it's not appropriate. So he does that, chat. And he's like, this is where the tractor beam is. It's on level whatever. And Ben's like, I'm gonna go out there and get it. But then R2, he realizes, oh, shit. The princess is here, too. It's like, Princess Leia Organa, like in the message. He's like, yeah. And Luke's like, we have to rescue her. And Han's like, I'm not going to rescue no princess. Listen, I am way over my head as is, okay? I don't want to do none of that. And Luke's like, listen, she's fucking rich, man. You can get so much money. He's like, how much money? Any amount you can imagine. I can imagine quite a bit. And he's like, you're going to help us? He's like, fine, I'll help you. And Ben's like, all right, you guys go take care of the princess. I got to shut down this tractor beam. And Luke's like, but let me go with you, Ben. He's like, nah, Luke, our destinies are going our separate ways, okay? I handle this, you go with Han. Luke's like, okay. He's like, my young friend, the Force will be with you always. Not may the Force be with you, Chad. That's another character that says it, but the Force will be with you always. And Ben, he leaves Chad to shut down that tractor. Meanwhile, Darth Vader's like, I got like a weird fucking sense on the back of my neck. The hair, the fucking scarred hair is in the back of my neck. The scorched hairs are rising up. I'm feeling something I haven't felt before. You know what this feeling is? It's the same feeling I felt when I used to have legs. That's the feeling I feel, and I don't like it. And he goes off. Meanwhile, we cut back to Han and Luke, C-3, R2-D2, and Chewie, and they're like, well, she's being kept in the detention center. That's the only way we're gonna be able to get to her. And Han's like, how the hell are we gonna get to that? And Luke's like, oh, I know what we can do. We can look like we're taking Chewbacca as a prisoner. Here, let me put these cuffs on you. George Lucas was like, don't fucking touch me! Don't touch me! He doesn't like to be touched yet. And Han's like, it's okay, Chewie, it's okay. I think I know what the kid's planning. I think I know. And Luke, he tells R2 and C-3PO to stay here to make sure in case they need them to open up any other doors. And so they go out, chat. They're walking, they go to the elevators. Luke's complaining he can't see a fucking thing in that goddamn helmet. They get in there. Eventually, they come to the detention center. They're walking out, and you got the one Imperial commander, the Stormtrooper commander, chat. He's like, where are you taking this thing? He says very racistly, and he's like, oh, prisoner transfer and shit. He's like, oh, prisoner transfer. Well, I never got a memo about that. Didn't get a call. He's like, oh, it's happening. He's like, well, let me read your credentials just to make sure. And he's like, fuck that. Shoot, blast it. They start blasting. Everyone starts blasting. Chewie throws a Stormtrooper. Fucking head caves in. Luke starts blasting. They're taking down all the camera shit. Everyone's dead inside. They all get fucked up. And eventually, they're getting like a call. It's like, what happened? What's happened? What's going on in there? And it's like, Han's like, nah, don't worry about it. Just a fucking power converter malfunction. Everything's fine. No problems at all. How are you? I love that because I think Han even, Harrison Ford improv that. It was very, very funny. And he's like, what's your fucking identification number? And Han's like, it's blast. It was a boring conversation anyway. Luke, we got company. And Luke, he's just looking for where Leia is. He's like, oh shit, oh god. And he finds her detention cell. Opens up, and Carrie Fisher, she's just sexily laying there, and Luke's like, humana, you're pretty. And Leia's like, you're a little short for the Stormtroopers. Luke's like, all right, fuck you, bitch, okay? I'm here to save you. My name is Luke Skywalker. She's like, Luke Skywalker? He's like, yeah, I'm here with Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. She's like, Obi-Wan Kenobi? Yeah, let's get going. And you're like, they get out of their chat. But then the Stormtroopers are coming down the elevator. Han's like, we gotta get the fuck out. And they get caught in the hallway, chat. This one, they're blasting. And Leia's like, this is some fucking rescue party. Han's like, well, you're welcome, your worshipfulness. I'm trying to help you out here. I'm getting this under control. You're not getting shit under the control what you're doing right now. Give me that fucking blaster. I'll show you how it's done. She starts blasting chat. She starts murdering these Stormtroopers, these Imperial commanders, taking them all out. And she shoots the ventilation shaft. They're great. And she says, get your asses down there, flyboy. And Luke, he dives head first. Chewbacca, he follows suit. And then Leia's like, you gotta get your ass down. She dives in there. Han's like, fuck, woo! And they all fall down their chat. They fall down to this garbage compressor machine. It's water. Everyone's like, oh my god. Han has a great line. It's like, oh, look, what a wonderful smell you've discovered. And he's like, Chewbacca's trying to get the blast door open. Han's like, get out of the way. And he shoots him, and the blast roll begins like pinging around the room. It's like, what are you doing? We tried that already. He's like, okay. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. I didn't know. He didn't tell me that. And so, like, and we're like, okay, we gotta think of a way. But while this is all happening, chat, we see something is in the garbage water, in the shit water, chat, in the shit-stained water. And Luke feels like, I felt something move past my leg. We're like, oh, shit. And then we see a little eyeball pop up, and it's looking around. He's like, ew, and it goes back in the water. And then Hentai! Hentai attacks Luke Chan and wraps around his young, supple body and drags him under the water, chat. To do what? I do not know. But it's not going to make it supple for much longer. And they're like, Luke, where you going? Where'd the Hentai take you? Luke's like, oh, help me, Jesus Christ. Help me. They're trying to get him out. It's tied around him. Han's just shooting at the water. You're not going to get me, Hentai. You're not going to get me. But he disappears in the water again. It's like, oh, fuck, Luke. But then all of a sudden, they hear this noise. And it's like, whoa. And then Luke comes out of the water. And he's like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, if fucking let go of me. And it just got out of here. Just ran away. And all of a sudden, chat, the fucking doors, the walls start to come together. And like, oh, shit. We got to get the fuck out of here. It looks like, oh, 3PO, R2-D2, I could call them to shut down the garbage compactors. But chat, R2 and C-3PO, they're having some issues too because the Imperial Stormtroopers show up to their room. And when the doors open, you get the one iconic moment of the Stormtrooper walking forward, bonk, hits his head in the thing. He's like, oh, fuck. actually, now this is another special edition addition I did like, chat. You actually hear a bonk noise as the Stormtrooper hits his head. That was really cool. That I really appreciated that. Also, there is some shots of space where they improved the way the Millennium Falcon looks and the Death Star looks and the TIE Fighters look. I like all that stuff. That actually looks really good. Luke's about to get diddled. Oh, yes. But he managed to escape the last moment, chat, before his hole was diddled. And the thing is, like 3PO and R2, they can't talk because all these Imperial Stormtroopers are here, and they're like, we gotta go this way to find whatever. They have to report to somebody. And 3PO's like, I'm gonna get us out of this, R2. And he goes to the one idiot who bonks his fucking head on the door. He's like, oh yeah, listen, my counterpart, his system's got a little fucked up. I'm just gonna take him for repairs, some maintenance. And guy's like, all right, go ahead, you can go. And he's like, yeah, thanks, buddy, thanks. And he goes out, chat, fucking C-3PO, saving the goddamn day. And they go downstairs to the Falcon. Meanwhile, we cut to Obi-Wan Kenobi, chat. He's sensing something too. He's sensing something too. A feeling he has not had since he cut the legs and arm off of a man and watched him burn nearly to death. He's like, that feels familiar. But he goes over the tractor beam, chat. Goes over there, shuts down the tractor beam, fucking uses the Force to distract those two fucking morons, and he gets out. He skedaddles. Meanwhile, we cut back to the garbage chute, and they're not doing well. They're fucking freaking out. They're screaming like, oh my God, we're gonna die. Han's like, get on top of it. Get on top of the garbage. Leia's like, that's not going to help. We're gonna die. It doesn't matter if we're on top or not. Maybe it will. Maybe we can live a little bit longer. I like me. But then eventually, R2, he plugs himself into the Death Star again, chat, forcefully and definitively, and he's like, oh, they're fucking in the garbage sector. Why are they in the garbage? You know what? I should call them. I forgot. I turned off the thing. He was like, ah! And he's like, whoa, Jesus, what's wrong? Tell R2 to turn off all the garbage compactors on the detention level. He's like, what? Tell R2 to turn off all the garbage compactors on the detention level. And I was like, turn them all off. And then R2 at the last second, before they're about to be smushed, he turns them off. I have the high ground, Anakin. He remembered that time when he had the high ground. And he turns them off, and they're like, woo, we did it. Where else? Everyone's hugging and smooching and then fucking in the garbage shed. Everyone's having a good time. And eventually, R2 opens the door for them. They're getting out there. They take off all their Imperial garb and things. And Han, he hears that creature going, blah, hentai. And he goes, shut the fuck up. And he blasts it. He's like, Leia's like, what the hell are you doing? They're going to hear that. He's like, I'm sorry, your worshipfulness, okay? I didn't know this was going to be the goddamn mission. This was a simple drop and deliver job. And she's like, oh, you're so fucking charming. And get this walking carpet out of my way. Very racist towards Chewbacca, chat. Very racist, okay? He's not a walking carpet. He's a Wookiee, and he's adorable, and I love him. We all love Chewbacca, and he'll rip your goddamn arms off if you beat him in a game of space chess. Don't do it. And so they're going on their way, and eventually, they come across a squad of stormtroopers, and Han just fucking loses it. I don't know what caused him to do this, and he just starts blasting, and he starts, and he just starts running. We're like, what the fuck? He's like, I'll see you at the Falcon. He just starts running, and it's like really weird. And these stormtroopers are like, oh my God, this man has lost his mind. And eventually, Chad, he comes upon a massive battalion of stormtroopers. He goes, and he shoots them, and he starts running. Chad, he got that Tom Cruise run going. Before Tom Cruise had the Tom Cruise run, Han Solo was using it, Chad. And him and Chewie are trying to get back to the Falcon at this point. Meanwhile, Luke and Leia, they're having their own issues. They're being chased by a couple of stormtroopers too. And they come upon, they're getting shot. And they're like, oh shit. And they close the door behind them. Luke shorts the control panel so they won't come after him. But it's a fucking precipice, chat. It's a huge gap. And Leia's just activate the light bridge so we can get over. And Luke's like, I think I just shot the control panel. He's like, shit. And he's looking around. He's like, oh, I have a fucking grappling hook from the stormtrooper. That's standard issue. I'll grapple us up there. We'll swing across. Leia's like, fucking game plan, man. You're so cute. I want to smooch. But then, chat, the stormtroopers show up from above. And they start blasting. And, like, Leia, she's blasting. She's killing them. Luke, he manages to get the fucking grapple hook over the little piece of metal or whatever the hell it is. And Leia goes, good luck. Just big old smooch on Luke. And then they go over, chat. They swing over, and they make it. And they're alive. And eventually, they meet up with Han and Chewie's like, okay, we got to get to the Falcon. But there's just too many guys over there. Too many jabronis. Meanwhile, chat, we cut to Ben Kenobi. And he sees him. He sees him, Chad. He knew he faced him once again. And it's big dick Darth Vader. And he's like, I knew you'd come back, old man. I knew. He's like, how you doing, Darth? He's like, yeah. Nah, I remember. Yeah, see, when we last met, I was but the learner. But now I am the master. And then they get into a lightsaber duel, chat. And listen, This is the first lightsaber duel in Star Wars. And it's not great. It's really not great. You have Alec Guinness, who's an old man, and you have David Prowse in this huge, bulky suit. And yeah, the choreography in this isn't cool, but I do like the dialogue. I do like the back and forth between them, okay? Thankfully, the lightsaber battles got really good in Empire and in Return of the Jedi. Both of those are amazing. So this one's a little like, they were trying to figure it out. But they're fucking dueling, chap. And maybe Vader hasn't fought anyone in a long time. That's why they're all like kind of fucking waddling around with their sabers. This is all going on. Eventually, the stormtroopers who are guarding the Falcon, they see all this shit happening. They're like, oh, fuck, we're going to go over. They're going to go over to see what all the shenanigans is. And then Luke, Han, Leia are like, oh, they're distracted. Let's go over to the Falcon. And Luke, he sees fucking Ben Kenobi fighting Vader. He's like, oh, my God, who the hell is that? And Ben Kenobi's like saying, like, listen, Vader, if you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. And Vader's like, yeah, calls his fucking bluff. And boom, kills him, Chad. Like, Ben's like, I gotta sacrifice myself. But I love it. That was a fucking bluff. He was messing with Anakin. It's like, I'm gonna get this motherfucker to down himself right here. But you could tell. He's like, maybe I have a chance. Vader's like, motherfucker. Fucking cuts him to half and he vanishes. Vader's like, whoa, that was weird. I can imagine when Ben Kenobi just vanished in front of Vader. He's like, what the fuck? He's even like touching with his foot. He's like, what the hell? I can imagine like after fucking Luke and Han and all of them escaped, he went on the fucking PA system. He's like, okay, guys, I'm pretty sure I killed him, but there might be a 75-year-old naked man running around the Death Star right now. So I'm just going to put out a, fucking advisory. If you see him, shoot him on sight. He's a trickster, okay? He's more powerful than you can possibly imagine, okay? All right, bye. It's like, what? You had to think that crossed Vader's mind. It's like, this motherfucker naked around here? Is he walking around naked right now? I just love it. Vader shit. I love it. And Luke, he says, yeah, I'm the old man I've known for about 16 hours. No. And he starts blasting. And Stormtroopers fall, and Vader's like, hey, who the hell are you? The door closed before you can get over there, chat. And everyone boards the Falcon. Han's like, I hope that old man shut down the tractor beam, because this is going to be a very a short trip if he didn't. They got out of there, Chad. They're gunning away, but the fucking Death Star sent out 4 TIE fighters to blast them. And Han's like, we gotta get these TIE fighters off this. We're never gonna get to light speed. We got 4 fighters on our ass. Luke, get in the gun. I love this scene too. And this is the one they improved for the special edition, and it's a lot better. It's a lot better than the original one. I like it. So they go to the, I guess the canopies of the Millennium Falcon, the turrets. They go on these quad cannon turrets. I love them. And they start blasting. Really cool scene. They each take out 2 TIE fighters each. Fucking Luke's like, I got one. He's like, great kid. Don't get fucking cocky. Jesus Christ. We still got like 3 more. And they start blasting. They defeat them. They go up there. Hey, Leia and Chewbacca hug. They reconcile Chad after her races come. And they talk about it. It's like, you can't say that to a Wookiee, okay? You can't do it. It's not nice. And they fucking blast off into hyperspace. And meanwhile, we cut to Tarkin and Vader. And Tarkin's like, listen, we're taking an awful risk, Vader, by letting them go. Because they're just like, oh shit, they're letting them go. It's like, Vader's like, don't worry about it, man. I put a fucking homing beacon in the Falcon. So this way we're going to find the Rebel Alliance. No problem. We're going to find the Rebel bases. Like, I hope so, because they still have the Death Star plans on that thing. And Vader's like, don't worry about it. It's all going to work out, baby boo Tarkin. Tarkin's like, all right. And then, Chad, we cut back to the Falcon. And Luke, he's sad. He's sad that the old man that he has known for less than a day is dead. And Leia comes over there to comfort him. Leia, who is the princess somehow of Alderaan, who has lost her entire homeworld. But Leia, she's a good person, Chad. She's there for Luke right now. She's there for Luke. And so you say, I can't believe he's gone. It's like, yeah, I mean, I can't believe my plan's gone. But let's talk about Ben Kenobi. I'm there for you. I'm there for you. Eventually, Chad, we cut to Yavin 4, which is a moon off of the gas giant of Yavin. And that's where the Rebel base is being kept. And they fly down, Chad. I love this set. It's like these giant kind of Incan Aztec temples in a jungle. Very, very cool. I love it. And they down there, and they deliver the goods. And like, oh, you got the R2-D2, you got the Death Star plans. Download that shit. And everyone's happy and shit. And Han's like, yeah, it's great. Where's my money, baby? Even before that, they do their whole spiel about the plans themselves. Like, what's in these plans? What's this specific thing, this weakness the Death Star has? And so they're showing, it's like, apparently there is an exhaust port that if we shoot it with proton torpedoes, can't use blaster fire because it's magnetized, it'll bounce right off. But if we use fucking proton torpedoes on this, it'll send off a chain reaction. And Galen Erso, fucking Mads Mikkelsen did this, so we trust Mads Mikkelsen, okay? He's good. If we hit this at the right fucking moment, and it'll destroy the entire station. Now, the thing is here, guys, they're about 2 meters wide. Everyone's like, fuck, 2 meters? Oh, jeez, that's impossible. And Luke goes, actually, it's not impossible. I used to shoot Womp Rats in my T-16 back home, and they're not much bigger than 2 meters. And the guy's like, all right, fucking settle down, kid. All right, you just come in here telling us what you can and can't do. All right, fine. You know what? You can be fucking Red 5. He died a day ago. Congratulations. That's your new call sign. And eventually, meeting's adjourned. Han's like, all right, these guys are fucking dead. This is a suicide mission. We're gonna fucking collect the money and get out of here, Chewie. Chewie's like, that's kind of shitty. He's like, I don't give a damn. I like my life. I like me, Chewie. I like me. And Luke, he comes over to Han, and Han, he got like a few tens of thousands of credits, Chad. It's a big fucking payday. And Luke's just like, so you're just gonna fucking take your money and run? He's like, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna run. And Luke's like, you saw what we're up against right now, what we're all up against. They could need a pilot like you. You're a goddamn good pilot, Han. He's like, listen, Luke, I like you, but this is a fucking suicide mission, okay? Matter of fact, why don't you come with me? You're good in the fight. You're a good pilot. Come with Chewie and I. We can use a good co-pilot. And Luke's like, I'm not gonna abandon them. And Han's like, I don't know what to do for you. He's like, yeah, well, go, well, take care of yourself, Han. It's what you're best at. And Han's like, oh, that kind of hurt. That kind of hurt me. And he's like, Luke! And he's like, what? May the Force be with you. He says that, Chad. Han, he's growing as a person. That's where the comic line. Ben Kenobi doesn't say it. Han says it. May the Force be with you. Bad Shields. I think in 10 minutes, like was the video gamer trying to tell actual soldiers shooting his heart. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what it was. It's the same context, same way. And they're getting the whole thing together. Luke, fucking Leia comes over. She's got the hots for Luke. She's like, oh, yeah, I like that. I like you, farm boy. It's all about, it's like a kind of a Clark Kent, Lois Lane situation, chat. And Luke, he's just about to get in his fucking X-Wing, chat. And you got R2-D2. He's loaded up in there. And someone sees him, Chad. Biggs Darklighter. Biggs Darklighter's like, Luke, I can't believe Biggs. Like, Biggs. And we're like, who the hell is this character? Apparently, chat, there are a ton of deleted scenes from Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, where before the big reveal of like the Tantive 4 and the Star Destroyer overhead, like what it initially was, we start on Tatooine with Luke and his friends, and one of his friends is Biggs Darklighter, who's the family is they're the most wealthy moisture farmers on Tatooine. And there's a bunch of scenes with him and Luke and Biggs talking about how he's going to go join the Imperial Academy today. He finally got permission from his father. That's where he's going. We're introduced to several other of Luke's friends. There's also a scene where he's talking to this girl who apparently has feelings for Luke, and she's next to a giant ocean. And it would make a lot of sense if we're in a fucking desert planet. There's a giant ocean right behind him. You're moisture farmers, and there's fucking moisture all around you. And so they cut all those scenes out. Kryptonian Wildflower, thank you for the gifted sub to KJ. Appreciate that, my friend. But yeah, so all this was cut out. I feel sorry for the actor. Even Mark Hamill says, I love working with the guy who played Biggs. And it's like, it sucked that he got all the scenes cut out. It's too bad. And there is like some ancillary material that goes into Biggs' history, why he ended up from the Imperial Academy all the way to the Rebellion. It's pretty cool stuff. And he's like a spy and stuff, but that got abandoned, sadly. And there was actually initial speculation that... what's his name? The guy who played Cassian Andor. That before his name was announced, Diego Luna, people thought that he was actually playing Biggs Darklighter. Before it was revealed that he was playing a whole new character, people were like, whoa, and you're going to get to see the story of Biggs. But it wasn't the case. And so they're happy with each other. They're hugging. They're like, I'm going to see you up there, Luke. We're going to take down the Empire. Everyone goes, yeah! And meanwhile, chat, fucking Death Star shows up, and Tarkin's like, I love this too. Because they're like a half hour away from getting to the planet. And I was like, all right, well, we gotta pass the gas giant. Fucking 29 minutes from now, we'll blast. And Tarkin goes, all right, I'm getting antsy here. Vader's like, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. And then, chat, we see the Rebel fleet, which is only a few starfighters, not many. A couple of X-Wings, couple of Y-Wings, chat. And they're all heading towards the the Death Star. But they are met with a ton of TIE fighters. Got a lot of dogfights here, chat. And we see a lot of good old Rebel pilots die, chat, with their number one Rebel hero, chat, Porkins. And yes, he is a very rotund man. And I would be fucking pissed if I, like, this guy, he's a large man. And you know what your call sign is? You know what your name is, sir? Porkins. I'll be like, what? And, Porkins are like, Porkins, you got some on your back. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. And he gets blasted. He dies, chat. All these people are getting blasted. Red 2, Red 1, all of them getting killed. Goldlier, the Y-Wings, he goes down and he's like, we're going to fucking send our proton torpedoes down this trench. And we're going to send them. But his fucking two guys, they get blasted. But he fires off his proton torpedoes, chat. And they hit the target, but it wasn't a direct hit. And it kind of fucks up the Death Star. Other people are like, shit, we got that Star Trek. And they're like, oh. But it wasn't enough. Everyone's like, God, we got to do another run. But before he can do another run, chat, he gets blasted too. He gets blasted. And it's like, ooh, that's not good. And Darth Vader, Tarkin's like, okay, I'm getting a little nervous. Darth Vader's like, all right, I'll fucking go out there. We'll take down these goddamn pilots. Then we get introduced to Darth Vader's TIE Advance. And he goes and he just starts smoking fucking rebels, chat. Easy fucking peasy. But now Luke, he gets into the trench, and he's backed up by Biggs Darklighter and some other schmuck, and they're going down that way. And, Luke, he's flying. He's like, all right, this is my goddamn mission. But then Biggs is like, I can't shake it, Luke. I can't shake it. He's like, Biggs, get out of there. And then Biggs gets blown up by Darth Vader. So does the other schmuck, chat. And Luke, he is on his own, my friends. He's on his own. He's going down this trench. He turns on his targeting computer. He's like, I got to do this. I just got to fucking do this. But then he hears that voice, chat. Luke, use the Force. It's like, Ben? And he's like, yeah, it's me. Use the goddamn Force like I said. And he's like, all right. And he turns off his target computer. He only cut down the Avon. And they're like, Luke, you turn off your target computer. What's wrong? He's like, nothing. Everything's fine. And he's just going down this fucking trench. And Vader's like, the Force is strong with this one, this pilot, whoever this person is. And he's getting mad. He's like, I can't get a fucking beat on him. And right when Luke, he is so close to the ventilation shaft, to the exhaust port shaft, to shoot those proton torpedoes. And Vader, he gets them. He's like, I have you now. And just before he's about to use those 2 robo thumbs, chat, you hear it, wahoo! And Han Solo comes in there with the Millennium Falcon. Han and Chewbacca, chat. They come down there and they start blasting. Vader's like, what the fuck? And they blast the 2 TIE fighters. One is like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Panics, hits Vader's goddamn thing. He's like, whoa! And Vader, he just goes out spinning in the space jet. He has no control. And fucking Han's like, fucking blow it away, kid! Just start blowing. And Luke, he blows a big one, chap. Blows a big one. He fires those proton torpedoes. They go down that exhaust port. They skedaddle Han, Luke, the rest of the surviving Rebel pilots. And Tarkin goes, okay, so how's everything going now? Boom! And the Death Star explodes. She probably kills tens of millions of people that operate that thing, including Grand Moff Tarkin. And then we continue to see Darth Vader, his little TIE Advance fighter, goes out into the edges of space, chat. He's the lone survivor of the greatest and most significant Imperial defeat in galactic history. And then, chat, by the way, Bad Shield's taken with the 9 biddies. Ooh, please answer after review. Is it possible to reboot or remake Star Wars, or is expand the universe the way to go if new stories let it be canon? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a second. But then, chat, we cut back to Yavin, and there is an award ceremony. We see Princess Leia. She's got these big old medals, these 2 medals, and she's excited to present them. Everyone's lined up. Luke, fucking Han, they're going down here. Luke's got a really weird, ugly-looking yellow mustard jacket. Han's just, I'm going to wear me, okay? This is what I wear. This is what I'm going to do. And they go up there. Everyone's smiling to each other. Everyone's laughing. They put on the medals. Poor fucking Chewbacca. He doesn't get a goddamn medal. It's like, oh, poor Chewie. He helped. He helped too. But then we hear everyone's like, yay! Everyone's like, woo! And R2's like, yeah! Everyone's happy. He's waddling. Yes, Chad. Then fucking title credits. Star Wars: A New Hope. An amazing film, chat. One that had a huge impact on my childhood, my love of science fiction and genre filmmaking. This is so many iconic characters and moments and introducing a wonderful aesthetic that continues to exist to this day. It's a masterpiece. This and Empire are masterpieces. I love Return of the Jedi. It has issues, but this film is simply incredible, chat. This is the very definition of a better than sex film, chat.